What does it really take to lose the weight and keep it off as a busy professional man? After struggling with belly fat, low energy levels, and failed diets, starting over constantly, I eventually lost 60 pounds and kept it off for 13 years. So in this video, I'll share the simplest habits that changed everything for me. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also turn on the bell to get notified whenever I'm making a new video about weight loss every week. I've helped dozens of men just like you lose up to 60 pounds and finally escape the yo-yo dieting cycle. And if you're tired of constantly losing and gaining the same weight, I want to help you get to your healthy self without giving up the foods that you love. The first habit is implementing walking as a way to accelerate my fat loss. Having a calorie deficit diet helps you lose weight where you are maybe 300 or 500 calorie in deficit, and maintaining that from Monday to Sunday, you'll start losing 1 pound. And if you want to accelerate the fat loss by burning even more calories, you need to burn more calories through cardio or walking. But I find that walking is very not stressing on your joints, your nervous system, and you can easily implement that in your day. So as a busy professional man walking all the time in the office, you can easily, for example, completing 8,000 or 10,000 steps, and you're not even thinking about it. The most important thing is that you have your iPhone in your pocket and also having a step app. I am downloading something that's called step app where I'm tracking amount of steps I am completing. And if you are someone who is wanting to get more confident, toned, and also just lose weight easier, it's just very easy just to maybe just walking 500 or 2,000 steps, even more. Instead of just taking the elevator, you're taking the stairs. So if you're hitting a weight loss plateau where you're not losing 1 to 2 pounds a week, what you should adjust is, for example, 2,000 steps, even more. And by just completing these things, you are able to lose weight even faster. That was what I was doing when I was trying to lose the 60 pounds. And if you want to lose the weight for good and become the most healthiest version of yourself, just like you saw with me and my client transformation in the beginning of the video, there's a link in the description and also in the comment section where you can apply for coaching with me, and we'll see if you and I are fit to work together. And when it comes to walking, the most important thing is that you need to make it enjoyable. Let's imagine that you are maybe only completing 5,000 steps at work, or maybe your office job is having you sitting down most of the time. So for example, if you are actually standing up, just go for walks. And also after been working, maybe you live almost close to your work. Instead of just taking the car all the time, just go for a walk, for example, from and back to work, and that makes it easier. Also going to the gym, and if you are just making sure that you are having some, for example, audio books you can download from Amazon, that makes it more enjoyable for you to actually motivate yourself to go out on walks. I usually feel that if I have something in my ear I'm looking forward to, that makes it more easy for me to just walk. And if you are also walking more of the time, you don't feel like the urge to binge eat, because you just you feel like more motivated and disciplined because you want to complete these many steps and you feel tired. So by just completing these steps makes it you also more not wanting to screw up your calorie deficit that you created through the diet, but also the walking. So if you are aware of these changes, you can definitely just lose weight even faster. But if you already have stepped up with the 2,000 steps, like from 6,000 steps you're starting when you are trying to lose weight, the first 2 weeks you are starting out with 6,000 steps, and then you are not losing 1 to 2 pounds even more, and then you're adding 2,000 steps more, and then instead of a 300 calorie deficit, you are reducing it with 200 calories more. So there's a 500 calorie deficit, and with the 8,000 steps you're completing, that's maybe you can burn like 500 calories even more. So that's like 1,000 calorie you've been in a deficit, and maintaining that you will lose a lot of weight. But it's more about adjusting these small changes that can help you lose weight. And not only if you are having a high protein diet of 45% of daily calories come from protein, if you are walking a lot, you're burning a lot of fat. But what you want to do as a professional man who wants to look more confident, especially when you're wearing suits and also not having the cravings sabotage in your diet, is that you are reducing the cravings by having a higher protein diet and also having 40% of your daily calories coming from carbs, because carbs is helping you recover after you've been completing all the workouts with strength training 4 or 5 times in the gym, and especially with compound movement that is very taxing on your nervous system. By recovering faster with slow digestible carbs, that is making you feel more recovered, and that also gives you some more fuel, especially to fuel your day when you are trying to complete these 8,000 steps. I would love to know what is your biggest takeaway from the video. Just comment below, let me know, and also like the video if you find it valuable for you. So the next easy step that helped me lose the 60 pounds and kept it off forever, especially like 13 years is a long ass time. So that is that I was focusing on tracking every single thing I was doing. I know it's tedious to track things, but if you just like a professional man been yo-yo dieting and constantly starting over every single Monday for decades, you should just put yourself together, because that is the easiest way to lose weight and not feeling that you are changing too much of your diet. For example, when I'm tracking something, I make sure that I have figured out my macro. For example, I have a macro calculator that makes me type in my age, gender, height, activity levels, and through that I'm giving the maintenance calories to maintain my calories, and I'm very meticulous in regards to what I am eating and hitting all these numbers. The protein diet with 45% of daily calories, I want to hit that, so I am also having 40% of the calories come from carbs, and then the last 15-20% is from fat. So you have that in order, and then you have something that's called My Fitness app, My Fitness Pal, where you are subscribing to, for example, the premium subscription, where you just put in these numbers, and also you are having it calculate some of the meal plans that you can enjoy. It's easier if you have an app where you can rotate between the meals, and sometimes if you are eating 3 or 4 meals a day, if you find it bland to eat the same shit every single day, you can just change it up. So instead of having, for example, pasta carbonara, you're just changing that with another recipe. There's like 100 different kinds of recipe. The fun fact is that if you feel like you want to meet your, for example, the protein intake, and you're still needing like 550 grams of protein, you're just adding more grams of one specific items. Could be like 100 grams of chicken breast more, that's like 23 grams of protein, and then a scoop of whey protein in your shaker, that's 23 grams of protein, even more, so it's almost 50 grams. So, or maybe an egg more, there's 7 grams of protein, so you already hit your protein intake. It's just adjusting like up or down, so it's very easy to make meal plans that especially for you, because I find it easier if I'm tracking everything. So that's just the diet part. And then also having the step app where I'm tracking the amount of steps that I have, because if you are having your iPhone on yourself, you are completing the amount of steps. You can just follow through on the app how many steps that you've been completing. And also with the weight, I really love the weights. For example, when I'm on a bathroom scale Monday morning without drinking, eating anything, and I'm weighing myself naked, I have a specific number that I'm tracking. And also I do that every single week. And also if I want to track even more further, for example the inches around my body, I have a measurement tape that measures everything on my body, and that is every 4th week I'm taking new measurements, and also pictures before after, where it's from the front, back, and side in the same lighting. You have a friend helping you with that, because if you're doing it so specifically, it's easy for you to actually see that you are getting some changes. High protein diet helps you, for example, building a lot more muscle mass. You can see that if you are, for example, more inches on your biceps, your shoulders, your back, chest, and the inches around your waist is just getting smaller. It's just the right thing for you to, for example, lose the weight. And yeah, so I know that as a professional man who wants to get a lean to muscular body and also just feeling more healthy, if you are putting food into your system that you really enjoy, by looking at this library, it's easy for you to have a healthy and sustainable diet. It takes some time for you to get to the point where you actually feel like it's a lifestyle change, because in the beginning it's just sometimes a bit harsh and tedious, and you want to give up, and you're fucking up a lot with maybe you're cheating too much. But in the end of the day, You're learning from your mistakes. As a coach, I have noticed that my most successful clients, they are just being very accountable for their own success. And I know that if you have been fucking up with your diet and you maybe been eating way too much, so it's just what it is. Sometimes if you are eating way too much, the next day you're compensating by reducing your calories, or for example a combination of giving more steps. So it's easier for you to just having a mindset shift that it takes some time. You are making progress and sometimes you are going back, but even though maybe you are only losing 1 pound a week, but it also happens that you're building a lot of muscles. So you are maybe losing 500 grams of fat, but you are building 300 or 400 grams of muscle. Especially in the beginning, it's easy for you to build a lot of muscle. And then you want to utilize that. So there's a lot of benefits with that. And the most healthiest way to lose weight is just eating what you really enjoy. And that is also something that you need to adjust, because if you for some reason feel like the same things that you've been eating all the time and it's just bland, you just change it up with something that you really enjoy, and that makes you don't want to crave too much, because the things that you've been craving you are just putting into your diet. So that's just easier to maintain. The diet is no restriction in regards to what types of foods that you need to eat, as long as you're hitting your macros. I always have like a rule of 90% of the calories that you're getting is from whole foods, whereas high quality protein sources with lean chicken breast, eggs, tuna, salmon, ground beef, maybe bacon, that is turkey bacon, high in protein, low in fat. Carb source could be rice, sweet potato, it could be cereal, oatmeal, quinoa. There's a lot of kinds of different types. And also to maintain your hunger levels, you need to drink like at least 4 or 5 liters of water every single day. You're going to piss a lot, but it's also required if you want to keep yourself like mental focus with drinking water as well, and having clearing up your skin, because you want to look professional, presentable. Especially when you're talking with clients, they are more approachable and positive over people who are looking healthy and confident. So that's what I would recommend you guys. If you want to lose the weight for good and become the most healthiest version of yourself, just like you saw with me and my client transformation in the beginning of the video, there's a link in the description and also in the comment section where you can apply for coaching with me, and we'll see if you and I are fit to work together, and I'll help you build a game plan to lose the weight for good and become the most healthiest version of yourself. Bye.